Good day, everybody. Today, we want to talk about something very important. It's a joint. A joint. A joint is also described as articulations. Articulations. Now, a joint is a functional junction between two bones, and it makes movement easy. With joints, movements are meant to be. So without joint, it's not possible for movement to occur. I remain your host, Robert Tonode Gaga. That's my name. You are welcome to a program that makes you understand anatomy in a fun way. In a fun way, I call it a fun way, kind of for you to understand anatomy easily. Now, let's talk about joints now. Joints generally, as I've defined, they are divided into two major groups, and these two major groups are the structural classification of joints and the functional classification of joints. Today we'll look into the functional classification of joints. The functional classification of joints is actually also described by some authorities as a physiological classification. Now, this classification is based on the degree of movement that can occur in the joint. That's how this classification is. That's what this classification is based on. The degree of movement that can occur in a joint. Now, the first group of this classification is synarthrotic joints. The second group is amphiarthrotic joints, and the third group is diarthrotic joints. Now, synarthrotic joints, amphiarthrotic joints, and diarthrotic joints. Now, synarthrotic joints are joints that are also described as immovable joints. There is no level of movement in this joint. Movement shut down. No level of movement in this joint. And since they don't have any level of movement in this joint, it means that it is present in areas that movement does not occur. For example, the cranium. For example, the cranium. And the cranium doesn't allow any form of movement. So it keeps the bone together firmly for protection. And that's why they are there. Now, that's an example of it. The synarthrotic joint, an example of it is the sutures that we have in the cranium. Sutures that we have in the cranium. Now, the second one is the amphiarthrotic joint. A-M-P-H-I-A-R-O-T-H-R-O-T-I-C, amphiarthrotic joints. These amphiarthrotic joints are joints that displays a very minimal amount of movement, kind of slight movement occurs there. They are called slightly movable joints. They are described as slightly movable joints. And these slightly movable joints are present in areas that need slight movement. Slight movement. So we don't need much movement in these areas. Slight movement. Areas like the symphysis pubic, which is in the pubic bone. It is there during birth. Yes, you can have slight movement there, slight push in that very cartilaginous joints there. Then you can have a kind of slight movement there. You can have it there. So I think they are present there. They have slight movement, they are present there. Then the third level of joint classification physiologically is the diarthrotic joints. Diarthrotic joints display all form of movement, they are freely movable joints. And it might interest you to know that 80% of the joints that we have in our bodies is a diarthrotic joint because they are synovial joints. So all synovial joints are diarthrotic joints. And so they display a wide range of movement, a very wide range of movement, rotational movement, flexing, extending, all form of movement they display, especially when you look at the shoulder joint. The shoulder joint has lots of this rotational movement. So it rotates in all dimensions like that. It has all planes being registered there in that joint. And also the biggest joint in the body is the synovial joint, that is heel joint. Is the biggest joint in the human body. The hinge joint, which is the knee joint, it presents a fantastic complex arrangement that gives it peculiarity. So that's knee joint, the knee joint. There's also a level of movement that this knee joint performs, a slight rotational movement. They call this screw home mechanism. The screw home mechanism of its movement. It rotates a little lateral to screw itself in position to take the weight of the body. So these synovial joints, generally, I think there are 6 of them. Yes, there are 6 of the synovial joints, and we'll talk about them individually in our next class. Thank you very much. I want you to subscribe to this very channel. It will help you to grow in anatomy, and share also. Comments. Your comments are very much needed. So it will keep us going, and also it will encourage us. It will tell us your mind, and it will encourage us to do more, because we will always pray to do more. So thank you very much. Robert Onode Egaga, your host. Please have a nice day.